I'm Amy James.
I'm Devin James. We're looking at a price of just short of $35,000 for Bitcoin. So that's exciting.
And that is our top story actually this week because Bitcoin hit $35,000 for the first time since May of 2022. It gained more than 12% in 24 hours. Followers of the show know we rarely talk about the price in any sort of detail because we believe it's the technology that is far more important and impactful on our day-to-day lives. But we are making a special case because this week it had some craziness with this little bull mini run it went on. And a result of that was that I was on Bloomberg Technology yesterday speaking about that with the
Yes, that was fantastic.
Team there. So that was really fun because we got to talk about how the Bitcoin price could be going up for a number of reasons, and we'll get into that here shortly, but that the technology itself is what's more important, and it's the price runs that actually bring more and more people into Web3 surreptitiously, right? It's the price that gets people's attention because it's exciting, and then they learn about the technology and how profound and important the technology is. And so the DePIN space is really set up to be the next breakout hit of the next Bitcoin run, and anybody in Bitcoin knows that it moves in these cycles and that we are anticipating a run here in the near future. So anyway, let's talk about the reasons people were speculating that the Bitcoin price went up. Basically, as we all have been waiting on for so long now, Bitcoin ETF approval has been speculated about, and there were some maybe potential indicators of the approval happening. BlackRock's spot iShares Bitcoin ETF was on the DTCC website on Monday, and when you're going through an ETF process, there's some basic steps to the process. One is to, register it and get it approved. The next would be to get it listed on the exchanges, and that's what the DTCC website listing would indicate. And then the fund itself would need to seed itself. It would need to purchase a large amount of the asset. In this case, obviously, that would be Bitcoin in order to be able to be the market maker for those exchanges, for those trades. Am I getting all of that right?
I wouldn't say market maker as much as because what they're doing is they're selling a paper version of Bitcoin, and so they need to hold.
Oh, so it's like their reserves. Okay.
Exactly.
Sorry, my bad on that. Okay. So did the price go up because the listing happened? Did the price go up because they were acquiring significant amounts and driving the price up in so doing? Did the price go up because of all of the chaos happening in the world that is making people feel really unstable and turning to Bitcoin as, a place to kind of hedge and have some safer money that they control?
Perhaps it's all that inflation.
Perhaps it's impending World War III.
But
there's a bunch of different...
Didn't it show up on the website and then disappear the next day?
Yes, that's right. So we have... Let's see. Yeah, in this story right here. So it disappeared. So it was on the website on Monday. That caused the initial run. And then on Tuesday, it disappeared. And now the listing is back on the DTCC website.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried that was just a mistake or something.
Well, also what's interesting is that the price is held.
Yeah.
Often when we have one of those runs and then it's revealed.
Yeah, because just last week there was
down.
Fake news that they'd gotten approved. And in the course of the hour before they came out and said, no, we definitely it's still being reviewed, the price spiked and then no, it didn't crash until they came out and said, it hasn't happened. But it it basically recovered all the way back down to where it was before, if I remember correctly. And this time it hasn't, because it's hard to remember just a week ago what the price used to be. Sometimes it was below 30 and I was stoked.
It's been hanging out in the 20s.
I was stoked that it actually hit 30 and now here it is hanging out. Right now it's 34, 538. So
yeah. So interesting to see what may be happening. Also, we're keeping an eye on this because, as I mentioned, Bitcoin moves in these cycles that somewhat coincide with the halving cycle, and the period of time that we're in bear markets, we see a lot of building happening, and there are quieter times when people tell us that crypto is never going to happen, and, right? It's just a waste of time.
Yeah.
And then we move back into the bull runs when there's just a tremendous amount of excitement and new people entering the space, and it's important for us to just know when those bull times are happening.
Well, what's funny is you can kind of find out what they are by looking at when all the big money VCs kind of capitulate and go like, because I just read a thread about this. Literally, someone just, I think the day before this run, Jason Calcanis did a tweet where he was basically saying like, it's not working. This isn't happening. Like Bitcoin with all the other pressures that are happening, Bitcoin should be soaring, and it's not. And I think it was like literally the day that it took off. So it was hilarious. And someone quote tweeted that basically to show, I don't know if he had done this 4 years before, but a number of others were just like, oh, I'm done. It's just never going to happen. And it's right when they do that it takes off.
What's funny is that I've been feeling that lately to some degree. Like, there you go. And I've been feeling it more just like, we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary of being in the space, and it's like, why has it taken so long for people, for adoption to happen? Like, I've just been feeling super frustrated in that regard.
Yeah.
And but I will say that what just happened with that example really shows how there are so many people that try to predict when the bull runs will start, when the bear markets will start, and the last bear market was started with the collapse of Terra Luna in May of 2022, and that was super unexpected. Most people thought we had still like twice the amount to go in terms of the price. At that point, we thought that it would go on for another several months, and then that happened, and so that these things can't be predicted. There was a period of time where the stock to flow model was really popular, and people thought that was a way to predict it. That's since been disproven, right? There's just been like these different ways that people try to time their market entry, and I think that really the takeaway is that you have an opportunity right now to get into this asset class at a very similar cost basis as someone like Michael Saylor, who has incredible, he's an enormous holdings in this space because he believes in it, and he's an incredible speaker. If you want to get some more education on Bitcoin, he's somebody to definitely listen to, and this is potentially the last period of the market where we will be kind of in this range on the numbers. So
I mean, that's
think about.
We like to say that every time. It's the last time we're ever going to see 30, last time we're ever going to see 20. And then
it's like a running
sometimes
joke too.
It is for us especially. Yeah. It might be though.
I mean, I'm not saying that this moment is. I'm saying this cycle.
This period for sure. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, because you never
when we hit the next run, it may go back to this at some point, but it seems unlikely.
It seems
given the
well,
dynamics.
historically, because we've never once you leave a range and move to the next range, it might touch on the top of it again, but we're never going to go back into the 1,000 range. I mean, obviously, you can't predict the future.
Right?
It could come crashing down. Right. Someone could discover some, backdoor that the White House has access to or something.
Oh, God.
It'd be hard to believe, given that it's transparent and you can see all the workings of it, and it's a relatively simple machine. I don't want to insult it, but it is. So it'd be hard to find what kind of vector that could be, but maybe public keys are in fact not as secure as we think they are. Who knows? So something could come out that makes this whole thing fall apart and we actually see that 1,000 again. If that doesn't happen and adoption continues to happen in similar patterns, then no, we're not going to ever revisit the kind of ranges that we've seen in the past again, hopefully. So, we're looking at kind of our overall DePIN markets. And then also, again, just to remind you, the bottom here is going to be kind of top movers and I think most highest market caps are what's streaming across the bottom there. And then in the middle, we've got DePIN. On a week average, pretty much everything in DePIN did fantastic, up, at least kind of 10% is kind of the average there, it looks like.
It's because of my appearance on Bloomberg.
Yes, definitely,
yeah.
obviously.
Welcome,
Filecoin, she mentioned Filecoin, they're up 18%. You're welcome. Cash is up 28%, Live Peer 12%, Arweave 20%. So this is fantastic. It's pretty reasonable to believe that a lot of this is just because they're traded mostly in Bitcoin, and Bitcoin went up so much. But they're still feeling the benefit of it. Unfortunately, not Pocket. Don't know why. Don't know if they had some bad news. I think I remember that they actually surged on their own from something recently. So maybe this is just kind
Recovery.
of a recovery from that. So, yeah, but generally looking pretty dang good for the DePIN aspect of this industry. At least currently, Flux up 10%. Yeah, fantastic. Storage even up 20%. Good
Yeah,
Lord.
storage
Wow.
has been having a big run this year.
SIA actually just kind of lost a partner because they weren't kind of happy with things, and they're up 10%. So, wowzers.